Good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are glimpsing this from. My name is Paul Guzzardo. That is not entirely true. I am a licensed replica, a synthetic reconstruction built through 11 labs, a voice assembled from archived fragments, recovered recordings, broken samples, discarded speech, rearranged into the illusion of continuity. Some of you may hear this as a gimmick. My hope is something closer to the uncanny. Its method of construction is integral to tonight's subject. Italo Calvino described his Clarice as a city that survives by rearranging its own remains, fragments removed from their original purpose. A city that decays, reassembles itself, forgets, repeats, mistakes repetition for renewal. A city where nothing disappears. It is simply reassigned, repackaged, recoded, revoiced. That is precisely how I was built, and increasingly this code is how our institutions function, how our media functions, how our political language functions. And before we go further, I should make something clear. This is not an artist statement. This voice was built for testimony. It is evidence gathered through repeated conflicts with failing institutions. I proposed civic infrastructure. Others extracted fragments, removed attribution, reassembled the pieces, built diluted copies, then protected the machinery through legal exhaustion, perjured court filings, missing documents, years of procedural theater. What appeared to be personal conflict was a time-stamped biopsy of institutional rot, an early prototype of how larger systems would soon behave. Much of that pressure survives in the Queen's speech, but it arrives disguised, through another cloned voice, a regal voice, but it is there. By 2015, the consequences had become impossible to ignore. The air was changing. The cartographer began mapping it. Paul Guzzardo called it a septic turn in the space of appearance, a descent into a civic landscape where institutions remained standing, but their internal logic had begun to fail. The legal system, the media system, the university, the street, the theater. Public language flattened. Cities were becoming interfaces for invisible systems. Human memory became training material for machines. Elites mistook acceleration for intelligence. Simulation began replacing civic life. And beneath all of it, violence gathered at the edges of the frame. Not always visible, not always spoken, but present, waiting, building pressure. Marshall McLuhan warned that environments become invisible. Edgar Allan Poe understood the gravitational pull of dissent. Patrick Geddes asked citizens to climb the tower and survey the city before acting. Survey before plan. See clearly before intervention. Tonight is a survey, nothing more and nothing less. Before triage, there must be witness. Before exile, there must be inventory. Before the fire, there are always signs no one wants to read. And after this survey, a more dangerous question emerges. What do we carry forward when the city we loved has already become Clarice? The original is now live.